Everybody, it's Friday night. Shield's back. That's right, it's Agents of Shield night. Tonight is episode 6, Fun and Games. And it's directed by Clark Gregg. Again, this is going to be a spoilerish review. I'm going to say some stuff. I will say off the top, I still liked Rewind better with Fitz and Hunter. It had a little more pump to it. I'm really finding this series is just kind of like, yeah. The posters look more fascinating and more amazing than the episodes themselves. I mean, this wasn't a bad episode. Wasn't great. We're back to the future. We're back to the future, Marty! Doc, I put the car in reverse. Sorry, wrong future. Yeah, in this one, we're back to the gladiatorial games. Fitz is now shown up. We're all caught up to where we were episode 4. So now it's Fitz and Enoch hanging around. They've got some kind of plan going. We don't know what kind of plan. Actually, the episode does start off. We have a new character, a young guy named Flint. He's sort of a scrounger. He gets things. He finds stuff. He tries to barter with people. You also get to see how people can pass credits to each other. Justin Timberlake movie called In Time, where people would, grab each other. Well, they get the little gizmos that they can touch with, and that's how you can transfer tokens. That's how you get to meet him. And you find out later on that Flint, he's only one of 4 kids who they do what they call a harvest. So there's like 3 little stories. The Kree do a harvest, which is basically when we saw in the episode 4 where they found the secret lab. And what the Kree have been doing is they, selectively people having babies. But you only get so many kids at a time, and they also inject them with Inhuman juice. So what they're trying to do is, I think it's just the whole, to go back with the gladiatorial thing they're going on, just trying to create Inhumans. Kasius, I kept saying Kasius, but to me it was spelled Kasius. I don't know how you get a K out of Kasius, because I've watched Roman stuff before too. So anyway, he's Kasius, the head Kree. So that's how they get their Inhuman fighters. So he can auction them off, I guess, make so much money, and then eventually can get off Earth, I guess. That's his big plan. So that's the one story that's going on. Other subplot we got going on is Fitz and Enoch are back. They're trying to come up with some kind of escape plan to get everybody, get the gang back together. Eventually we find out what happened with May. We thought, maybe she got the crap beat out of her by Sonara, is the Magneto Blue Balls Kree girl. One of the gladiatorial fights, everybody eventually shows up to have dinner and eat some food. Okay, let's watch the fights now. And Fitz is a bit of a badass. He's like, he's prodding the other guests. He's like, oh, I heard you're so-and-so and I'm so-and-so. And he's talking with Kasius about, I heard you got the Destroyer of Worlds and I'm going to buy her up. And, and he's poking and prodding and sort of like showing that, yeah, I am an evil marauder type guy. And Enoch built this reputation for him, so he's holding up to it, which is kind of good. There was a couple of nice scenes, like one where Fitz comes up behind Gemma while she's setting a table and not realizing her inhibitor is on, that she can't hear anything. So he's doing this whole thing, hey, I'm back. Really missed you. I'm going to save the lot of you, but you know what? We've been apart, we've been together, we've been through time, we've been through here, we've been there, and you know what? I'm going to marry you. I don't care what you say. And she was almost like literally turned around like, well, what? He said, like, play it cool. Not realizing she's got the inhibitor on. And then Kasius comes up and says, oh, what are you doing? You're talking to all my slaves? And it's like, yeah, this rude slave. She won't say anything to me. What's going on with that? Oh, sorry. Mink. Turns off an inhibitor. And then when Kasius walks away, he got a quick second, I think, to say hi and bye to Gemma. You didn't hear that fantastic love speech I had for you? Sorry. Yeah, and it flips back and forth. With the harvest, and then what they do is they put the kids into this little area where they drop the crystal. Not like we've seen previously where the whole room fills up with gas. They actually have a controlled area where the kids are standing on this platform, and they only had 4 kids that were eligible for this harvest. So they drop the crystal, hit it, it goes off. The 3 of the kids are like, what? I don't know. So Flint, of course, he's the lucky winner. He turns into a pillar of stone, and the rocks fall apart, like the casing that he had around him. Then we find out after that, because Yo-Yo and the gang and the rest of the gang were actually watching what's going on, and she's like, oh, I can't watch this. And you figure, oh, she's not. And what she's really doing is, off to the side, so she can use her yo-yo power, grab Flint, get him out of there, and everybody's like, oh, where'd the kid go? Yo-Yo's got the kid. And I said, what's going on? You probably do have a power. You're going to become an Inhuman. We won't know what it is. And he has the delusion of, oh, yeah, but then I'm going to go and I'm going to go into a better place. And that's why he's been doing what he's been doing. He thinks, oh yeah, if the Kree picked me, I can go to bigger and better things, not knowing it's gladiatorial games, it's slavery, you know, we sold it to somebody else to fight, kind of thing. We still don't know where this power is. It hasn't manifested itself yet. But Yo-Yo's basically, yeah, people who buy people, that's not cool. Coulson figures out what happened, so they know that they went back to the shop that they work out of. So they figure, okay, we can hang out here. We can figure out what we're going to do with the kid and go from there. Tess shows up. Okay, I can throw him on one of the ships and we can drop him off somewhere so no one can find him. Then we cut back again to the gladiatorial room. And they said, okay, we're going to finally have a fight. Oh yeah, it's Ben, the telepath. And you think it's going to be him and Daisy. It's not. Now you know what happened with May. May comes in through the door. Because May's getting beat the crap because Ben has his, you know, he's a bit of a fighter, but he's also got his mental edge so he can figure out what's going on. May does get the upper hand a couple of times because she's sort of like, you know, she clocks him once and she's like, I wasn't thinking that. She's still, you know, incapacitated with her leg wound. So she's not doing too well. But Fitz is just like, you know, this is stupid. You know, I want to see some fighting, not this kind of skullduggery, buggery kind of thing. I want some real action. Technically, Ben didn't win. May was still alive, but they said, well, we'll ship her up to the surface. And supposedly if you get sent up to the surface, they got the roaches, those alien critters we saw in the beginning of the season. And things are leading up to the big main fight, which you figure is going to be Daisy against whoever. You figure it might be Ben, it might be somebody else. Somehow Kasius figured out Ben was lying to him. So his punishment was Sonara launches her blue balls at and kills Ben. And Gemma gets a chance to say hi to Daisy. You know what, you're going to be fighting. Sorry about Ben. I said, okay, what's going to go on? Says, well, when my inhibitor goes out, I got a plan. But just before we go to the fight, we cut back again to Coulson and the gang with Flint. And Grill shows up unexpectedly, and Coulson says, gee, you're home early. And then it's a whole confrontation of, I'm going to turn you guys in. I know you guys are still bad news. So what's going on? And Coulson says, oh, we're the guys from the future. Oh, you're that legacy thing? I don't believe that kind of crap. And then he's got everybody pinned down, you know, magnetize the stuff. While that all is going on, Flint actually, you see a little bit of, it looks like from Last Jedi, you know, when Rey was doing her training, you saw the little pebbles raise up. They do that same kind of effect, sort of the rocks are lifting up, and then you realize, oh, stuff's banging around. And Flint's power finally comes up. It's telekinesis. I don't know if it's telekinesis. I don't know if it's telekinesis or if he can only just move rocks only, and that's his power, because just rocks are falling, you know, flying around, because eventually Grill's got a gun on him and says, you know, if you don't smarten up, kid, I'm going to, you know, put you down. Then Flint just sort of, Yo-Yo just says, yeah, you know what you got to do? You know, don't be afraid. Use your power. One rock hits Grill in the back. And I thought he could do like telekinesis, like grab the gun out of the Grill's hand, but I guess he just can only move rocks. And when he thinks hard enough, he gets this whole bunch of rocks all together, make this one big rock. And of course, now we see that Flint rocks and he kills Grill. So lots of rhyming in this show. Okay. We got to get Flint out of here. So Yo-Yo stays with Flint. Coulson goes out with Mac, back out into the main area. And then they find she's hung out the display of like, give us the Inhuman. So now Tess is dead. So now we got Ben dead, Tess is dead. And then before the big fight starts, surprise guest appearance is Kasius' brother. I didn't hear a name, but he's another Kree. He shows up. Yes, father sent me. I have to go get the Destroyer of Worlds. And Fitz said, like, hey, wait a minute. I thought I was promised the Destroyer of Worlds. Why are you selling it to somebody else? And then I don't know who the other Inhuman, they never say. But Casey's brother said, no. If we're going to watch, I don't want to see an Inhuman against the Inhuman. I don't care if it's the Destroyer of Worlds. I want to see her fight against the Kree because the Kree is a warrior race. Sonara against Daisy. That's not a bad fight. You know, usual bit of kung fu going on. The balls get thrown around. Daisy's actually able to use her powers. As a precautionary, though, to make sure that Daisy doesn't do any tricks to the guests, Kasius puts up a force field up in the upper platform area. And it's like, Fitz is like, dang, I had a plan. Because just before that fight, Enoch passes him some kind of something on a cloth or whatever. He sticks in his pocket. Fight goes on. Daisy does pretty good. Does get hit once with one of the balls. But then she's able to disarm Sonara. Oh, yeah. Then the plan breaks out. And not much of a plan, it's just everybody sort of knows what to do since they're shield agents. They're pretty good at improv. Earlier, Gemma had grabbed a butter knife of some sort or some kind of a steak knife from the table. So just like a quick nod to everybody. Fitz pulls out, he actually is packing an icer, which is cool. Gemma slits Kasius' throat. Daisy's, levitates herself up with her power and about to do something, but Kasius' brother's a little smart. He grabs the inhibitor remote. That puts Daisy out for a sec, and Fitz is going like, "Oh, quick, grab Gemma, shoot a couple of people," so it knocks him out with the icer gun, and then makes this really cool leap off the balcony to land into the gladiator pit. And as he jumps, he actually shoots the mechanism, the on-off switch for the force field, so then they can't come after him. I think maybe that shorts it out too at the same time. Runs off, grab Daisy, end of the episode, and then of course we come back for the teaser for next week, which looks really good. It's like, I'm not sure if everybody's going to end up on the surface, but basically the whole team's back together. They show some really cool shots. Might be maybe a big exit at this, or I'm not sure how many episodes they're going to do this year either. They're going to do. Next week's episode looks really good. This week's episode had a few good moments. Like I said, when Fitz first sees Emma again after all that time, and he proposed to her even though she can't hear him, like that was a really good moment. The one fight scene between Sonara and Daisy, that was kind of cool. And Grill finally getting his, with the boulder dropping on him. But it didn't have the same feel as last week's episode of Rewind, which is like, that felt to me like typical S.H.I.E.L.D. episodes. And as you can see, I've got my copy of season 1 over here, which I've been rewatching when I'm not watching Westworld. I don't know where this is going to go because it doesn't seem to be strong. I've been saying this, since I've been doing the reviews. I even skipped episode 4 because I think it was so great. But it's not bad. It's not great. I'm liking Runaway still better. And going to see Star Trek coming out on Sunday, so we're going to see how the next episode of Star Trek's going to be. Anybody else still watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? What have you thought? Are you still liking it? Are you not liking it? Leave your comment down below. You know the drill. Remember, dislike my video. Also, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and see you on Sunday.